Hello everyone, and welcome to Divine Debut 11. This is Kathy speaking, and thank you for joining us here in the premiere of the Wednesday love reading, which could be a twin flame, it could be a karmic, or it could be a soulmate. Today is the 2nd of July of 2025, and we'll be doing it exactly the same as the love readings for July, which are being done. Some are already up on Patreon, and they will be released to the public on the 20th of the month. So you'll get a taste of what the love readings, individual for all signs readings, will be for the month of July. So it is shorter, obviously. It doesn't go for over an hour like we usually do with the Wednesday readings, and that's because I do have more signs to do. I'm about to do the Scorpio reading. For your information, I've done from Cancer, we've done Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra. Now we're on to Scorpio. We'll be doing another 2 or 3 today, and then possibly completing them tomorrow or the day after. Thank you for joining us here. As I said, I'm in the premiere with you. Thank you for joining us here. Thank you for your love and your support always. What's going on? Venus is transiting through Taurus still. She's come up to Uranus now. We will be having some surprises as Uranus is going to enter Gemini after 84 years roughly, when he was in Gemini again. Remember, he takes 7 years to transit through each sign roughly, and the fixed signs of Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius will have us breathe a sigh of relief. Uranus is the rebellion, revolt, replace, change, eye-opening tower moments where stability is concerned, and that's where self-worth, self-love, love coming from others, and our securities are concerned. So we will be having some surprises. Surprising information, I would want to say, because Uranus is going to enter Gemini and therefore challenge the more mutable signs born in the first few days. So the mutable signs being Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Pisces. If you've got planets or angles at those first degrees of the mutable signs, Uranus does well in Gemini, so expect positive changes, information, and eyes being open wide with what's going to come through. Let's see, because there will be lots of surprises. We've got retrogrades this month as well. So Mercury is already on the degrees that he will be retrograding on through Leo. Let's see, as the moon has ingressed now into Libra, the sign ruled by Virgo. What is the Karma Dharma relative to your person? We'll be taking the twin flame messages today. Mystic Moon Oracles, Amira's Love Oracle, the Twin Flame Journey Tarot, 3 Sibilas, and from the Wisdom of the Oracle advice. So, what is going on in love, generally speaking? Remember, we're reading the general energies. Dear friends, if you're interested in a personal reading, then all the information is below. Let's see what's going on in love at this time around early July, or whenever you get to view this message. We've got embrace. So embrace a completion point. Embrace someone that comes from a different part of the world and they're very different to you. Embrace an ending of a life cycle. This is an accomplishment. It's a great accomplishment. Of course, the fixed signs come through as they may be coming to some sort of end relative to the upheaval and the shake-ups that Uranus has brought them. So Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius, even though Uranus will return to Taurus to the last degrees. So he's brought many changes to the fixed signs, the earlier fixed signs. So it's only the late born or with late degree planets in the fixed signs that Uranus is still bringing the upheaval and the change and the breakthrough and the shake-up and the freedom, right? And lots of innovation, because fixed signs are very fixed. They're very conservative. This is the way I know, this is how I do things. Uranus is bringing change there and bringing some sort of freedom. The freedom can come through truth, through awakening, through seeing the bigger picture, right? And through ingenious ways of doing things, so changing up the way things have always been done. So embrace a change. It is a 21, which does speak to the world card, right? And 21 does equal a 3. So I don't know what 3 means for you. 3 is the Empress, but 3 can also speak to third parties. 3 would be the initial point of success, expansion, growth. 3 could also signify back to March of this year. We're taking 5 cards, so we don't read reversals, unless this would be a personal reading, and it's not personally for you. It's a general reading. As above, so below. The energies come through as we connect to Spirit and the Divine, as the guidance comes through from the angels, from Spirit, from God, whoever you believe in, calling for assistance and guidance from our archangels, please, Spirit, if we could connect with most people here. Of course, liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting, connecting with us in some way is important, as you could be part of the collective message that comes through here, but action is necessary to connect with us here. Let's see, dear Spirit, what is coming through in this divine union, in this union, this very important relationship, this connection, or a forthcoming new connection, which could seem very familiar, since you may have connected with a particular future person from past lifetimes. Remember, this is the Wednesday reading that we do. There's always some connection. So even if you don't know someone who's entering your life now or in the near future, they could feel very familiar, to you, because you've probably dealt with them or knew them or were connected with them in a past lifetime. This is the Twin Flame Journey Tarot, as I said. Let's see what's coming through, generally speaking. The Nine of Wands, trials and tribulations. This is like a wall that's been put up there. You may not have communication with your person, the person that's on your mind, or for those of you that have come out of challenging karmic relationships, you may have put an end, you may be at a completion point. We've got 2 cards that speak to completion and endings, right? Trials and tribulations, still you're going through that, whether it's you or your person or both of you, because you could be mirroring each other. So we get strong fire here. What is the challenge here? We've got foundation and commitment, a marriage, a commitment. That's the challenge. It could be an existing commitment, long-term relationship, or even, I would even say, someone's beliefs, their conservatism, the way they were raised. You could be dealing with someone that's very traditional. This is like a 4 of Wands is like an 11-11, and that's in the challenge. For me, 11, it's made up of ones, which are aces. The challenge would be this new beginning, or waiting on an opportune moment for a portal to open. But family, as I said, someone's personal life or their responsibilities in life or a commitment could be what's the challenge here. I also noticed the house here. It's a double story, and it speaks to foundation and commitment. Foundation means earth, means stability, finances. We do have a vocational, wands are fire, their inspiration, their creation. Work could also be an issue. Work and stability and finances could also be an issue where love is concerned, because everything is interconnected. and also your social standing with your person, big differences there. I get someone that's going through a lot of trials, tribulations, working a lot, not seeing the fruits of their labor, and the other person, we've got double story house, we've got big differences in their social standing, more so financial standing, I would say here, and even where they come from, who they come from, what's their heritage, who do they come from, you know what I mean? So I get big social differences. Let's look at the deep past and the root of this reading. We've got Six of Pentacles and equality, or inequality, I would say here. With the Six of Pentacles, I see it as a very karmic card, because we always see someone that's able to, someone's paying, someone's giving more energy or actually paying. So you could be dealing with someone that holds a position of financial stability. You could be dealing with a business owner that pays others on a more karmic level, because in the Six of Pentacles we see the scales. There was imbalance. There were two different relationships where the person was giving more to one and less to the other. So possibly inequality, if there wasn't a choice between two, a past and a present, let's say, then this was inequality. Like I was giving more than they were. You were giving more than what they were. So I feel that there were inequalities, obviously, here in the past, but there was also something very karmic that had to play out. Six of Pentacles could also be where either you or your person were in another connection and there was, again, an inequality. One person was giving more, and that was a lot of karma that needed to be worked out, needed to be lived through and learned. And where there is inequality, this could lead to legal divorce or separation. That's what I get here. That's from the distant past. In the recent past, Eight of Cups evolving, and someone emotionally checking out, moving towards, hopefully, finding those Two of Cups, because they did not find their total bliss and their happiness where they were. And that was, of course, because you could see in this deck that this person is sort of following the stars, moving towards their future. They're going through an evolution, and evolution would be a death, an emotional death. So an emotional ending has happened where someone could not find their happiness, their full-on happiness. Therefore, they checked out, they're moving on. Now, there could be an emotional and physical distance, because I did say there may not be communication, or someone may have put up a wall here, because they may be dealing also with, and this is not communicated, that they're dealing with an evolution, an emotional evolution relative to their foundation, their personal life, and their commitments, their happiness. On another level, on another scale, this could be someone you're connecting with that works a lot to provide security, financial, so on and so forth, and not so much focus on the evolution of their emotional life. Emotionally, there could be another connection where they're checked out and they're throwing themselves at work and going through trials and tribulations, possibly in all areas of life, because everything is interconnected, but coming to the end of a heavy period here, because there was a lot of karma that needed to be worked through, a lot of karma that needed to be paid off, let's say, a lot of lessons to be learned. What's crowning? We've got the Knight of Cups, romantic gesture. So what is someone's goal? Their aspiration is a romantic offer. Knight of Cups, of course, could be Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. but this would be someone that's not 100% on board because they've been hurt before, they've experienced a heartbreak. Therefore, that's why the knight wears a suit of armor. That's why the knight is not the king. They're not as experienced in the emotional arena, or they've had emotional experiences that were very, very hard, and therefore they're coming through as a knight, so quite protective of their heart, quite uncertain of bringing forth this offer, this romantic gesture. But there are eight and one is 9 cups. We actually see 2 cups in the Knight of Cups. That's interesting. So what may be very necessary and very important is a get together, not communication from a distance, let's say, because the 9 of Wands is like a wall that's been put up. Don't want to know, don't want to deal, don't want to talk, right? Because we see a meeting here with the Knight of Cups. This could be a physical meeting. Some of you may have connected with this person through social media. I don't know. You could be at a physical distance, right? And we see the 8 of Cups is someone that is on their way towards those 2 of Cups. So you could be physically at a distance, not only emotionally at a distance, right? But there's an evolution as someone is emotionally following those 2 of Cups, looking for those 2 of Cups. Let's see what the possible outcome is. And we've got the 7 of Swords, deception and strategy. Not an easy card. Of course, this is the card of the thief. This is the card of, as it says, strategy, deception, but also, well, sneakiness. Also, I'm going to say intelligence. You could see she's saying, hush, I'm not open, I'm not going to. This could be a secret meeting, a potential secret meeting. But there is, I mean, the 7 of Swords is very similar to the fox energy, so needing to be quiet, needing to be intelligent. And things are not all on the table. Not all the information will be on the table in the near future. Let's see what's at the bottom. We've got the 7 of Pentacles, reevaluation. 7, 7, you know, 7 is the Chariot, so it could be physical distance. Also a necessity to make a choice, to take action, to stand in one's power as the charioteer and take your chariot forward, which could signify, and we are in the Cancer season. Happy birthday if you're celebrating your birthday, right? Cancer is the Chariot, and the Chariot is a card of victory, of potential victory if the decision is made, and there are adjustments and there are dilemmas, as long as there's confidence, there's understanding that this is what I want to follow, this is where I want to go to, whether it's physically or emotionally. We did just recently have a new moon in Cancer with Jupiter there. So this could signify a possible travel, change of home, overcoming any obstacles and moving forward, but needing to be strong, because remember we had a new moon in Cancer. Next new moon is going to be in Leo, where someone will take the action, because Leo is confidence, Leo is the sun, whereas Cancer is the moon, more about recessive emotional dealings, even with the past or with someone's home or their family life right now. And because July is a month of many retrogrades, and Mercury will be retrograding in the sign of Leo, which is the sign of the heart, a lot of heart themes, action towards that confidence and strength is necessary, as we're going to have a new moon in Leo as well. For me, with the 7 of Pentacles in this deck, we see an oak tree, an old oak tree with its roots that run very deep, and there's reevaluation, which means a return, a revise, a revisiting the past, second chances, re-looking at situations. right? And revaluing where someone has been invested. The tree for me many times does speak to a past connection. It can speak to family and the health of a relationship. I do feel this is a past lifetime connection, so it must be a very important connection indeed, where maybe you were also family, maybe you had set up house with this person in a past lifetime. Maybe you were parent-child, for instance. Just saying, could be, because that's what I get with this card. And the Seven of Pentacles is, I've invested so much. You may be dealing with someone that needs to be certain before they move forward. And 7 is the month. We're in the month of July, which is the 7th month. Could be a very significant month as well for love. We've got 3 of Cups, celebration and community. This could be a re-evaluation, a return to the past, and it did involve third parties, or there could be a reconciliation. We've got a King of Swords, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. This would be Uranus energy, because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, as well as Saturn, which Saturn, of course, is stability, right? Saturn is long term. So I do get Saturn, I do get Uranus. Uranus is breakthrough, Saturn is the glue. And Uranus entering Gemini would be more fresh energies, more naivety, more curiosity, and more breakthroughs, because we've got quick wit and intellect. We've also got deception and strategy. Some of you could be dealing with someone that wears a uniform. They could have strong Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. They could work in law. They could work in medicine. Nevertheless, this is someone that is very intelligent. This could be a mathematician, for all I know. It could be a nurse, could be anything like that. Someone who's very intelligent, who's in investing their monies. It could be a banker, for instance. I do get that there's great intelligence here, and someone wanting to return from the past, maybe having invested in something that didn't bring them happiness, because we know King of Swords is someone that doesn't show emotion easily. They're more logical thinking. And again, someone that probably protects their heart, as the Knight of Cups here. Unless, my dear friends, this could be a past partner, someone that you've gone through separation with, and there could be someone that's younger, as we've got a Knight of Cups here, who's going to win in intelligence, who's going to be the smartest. We've got someone that's more romantic, more emotional, more in their flowing energies, more open-hearted, let's say. And the King of Swords would be someone that is closed up, locked heart, lock and key, right? But if this is the same person, because we've got the 3 of Cups, so you may be dealing with someone that has got water. I mean, it could be Scorpio, any water, and Aquarius. Well, Scorpio and Aquarius, we do have the 4 fixed signs here, and 8 of Wands, energy surge and communication. See, this would be communication. These are Cupid's love arrows that are being sent, that are being pointed, that are pointed to at a physical distance. 8 of Wands could be someone that flies. This could be a pilot, for all I know. 8 of Wands could be someone that's very creative, and strong fire as well. And we've got a Queen of Wands here, my dear friends. Queen of Wands, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, confident and magnetic. So we've got a divine feminine, let's say, that's showing her desire, her passion. She comes through as very sexual. And we've got a King of Swords who comes through as very cold, very aloof, very logical. They may have also strong fire, and that's where they connected through desire. More, we've got the Queen of Wands. That's more, she's more fiery, she's more sexual, whereas the King of Swords, they, as I said, they look at things as more from a logical standpoint, not to say that they probably don't have fire, because that's where the connect is. The Eight of Wands is between them, so they're connecting through social media, possibly. Could be at a physical distance as well. But the block here could be third parties with the Three of Cups, or someone putting on a cold front, being very detached because of their name in their community, because of a position that they uphold in a community. So I don't know if this is a past partner. I don't know if this is your person, or you're dealing with two different people, and my candle's gone out. Okay. Let me get another candle. I actually didn't notice when the candle went out. You may want to comment. Maybe it was something that I was saying. If you notice, the candle went out. Let's continue. Let's get a Mirror's Love Oracle and see what's going on. We've got a mature man. May have been, we don't know what color hair. He's got grey hair, or we could be talking about someone who has light colored hair, more on the lighter side. We do see someone that's quite mature, quite laid back. Maybe blue is their color. We've got communication through social media, through the internet. We've got communication that's coming in. We do see an age difference. I don't know who is older, but this mature man may be someone that's gone grey earlier in life. Who knows if they held heavy responsibilities? Who knows? We've got a feminine here that's more, she may dye her hair, but we see both have got the same skin coloring here. The divine feminine more so is could be someone that has got grey, but they dye their hair. For instance, reddish, copperish. Could be natural as well. Let's not rule that out. We've got destiny. Unbelievable. Unbelievable that we've got destiny here. And we've got a fair male. Incredible. Now, this does tie in with the King of Swords and the Knight of Cups. This would be the King of Swords. Maybe she's turned her back on the King of Swords. That was destined, that she's facing the fair male, and the fair male is more rock, more younger. As I said, age difference possibly. Big age difference between a potential and a past relationship, unless this is the mature man in their younger age, younger years, and it's taken forever. I don't know. Because of the tarot spread, the people that have come through, I would say that these are two different people. What is the fair male sitting on? And as you could see, they've got blondish, fair, possibly gingery towards a little bit of a coppery color, light colored eyes. Fair male. And there's great passion here. What's beneath that? And work. So there's a connection to work as well. Let's continue. Let's take 3 Sibillas I want to see, and then we'll take the wisdom of the oracle. unless, my dear friends, again, there's an age difference here. Fair male could also be a offspring, a son or a daughter of this mature male for some of you. This could be, for instance, someone that's in memory, someone that's passed on. It could be a father for this fair male that has passed on. That may be for one of you. We've got delirante, deliriousness. It's a neutral card, but it's someone being held up and helped from friends. We've got prigione, so someone going through possible issues related to law, because the prigione could be fear of dealings with the law, or a potential, because these people have gone out drinking, so they're delirious for whatever case. They may have taken drugs, I don't know, but they're obviously, they've done something that is binding them by law, or someone's going out drinking because they've got commitments that they cannot handle. Then your person may not be sleeping well. We've got a 9 of swords. Of course, the prigione could also be a commitment, whether it's connected to work or whether it's a marriage, or the prigione, because it is a Saturnian energy, could be talking to time blocking, or the Cronian time, when Chronos permits the changes. The Fortuna, which is Jupiter, these are huge changes that Jupiter brings. Big changes after blockages, after having put a wall up, no communication. Lots of truths will come out. There's expansion, there's the ability to see the bigger picture. Fortuna, which is Jupiter, could also speak to possible separation and divorce. We've got a young virgin, or virgin-like, or a young maiden. We've got the Vedovo, which is the we see a divine masculine in solitude and having gone through a heartbreak, through a challenging time. Could be involving a younger female here. I mean, the Vedovo, which is the widower, is the 3 of swords, and it's on the wheel of fate. Now, whether this is a physical loss, it could be a separation. Could be a separation which wasn't easy. But there's also loneliness here, because the 3 of swords is a heartbreak. So it feels like the divine masculine has gone through a lot of changes, a lot of challenges, possibly connecting to a young maiden. The young maiden comes through for me because we also see here the young maiden, and we see the prigione, which could be someone that's older. So big age difference again, I'm going to say. The Giovanna Fanciulla is like a purification, if not a person. She could also be a daughter, if not a son. But I get the Virgo energy here because she's the virgin, right? The virgin is like purity, of course, morality and doing things by the book, let's say. We've got melancholia. So melancholy, depression, we see a lot of sadness on both sides. From the feminine, from the masculine. Look at this, we've got the crosses twice, and the crosses are heavy burdens. But we've got a feminine and a masculine that feel as though this has finished, that there's a disconnect here, that there's no possibility, unless with the 8 of Cups, this is 2 people that are coming out of similar situations, letting go of whatever didn't work for them in the past, whatever didn't bring them happiness, and opening the door to the future, trying to be intelligent, preparing to look elsewhere for love, starting to get out and about. But there's still challenges, there's still depression here. And this is like destiny is playing out right now. A lot of karma. What's at the bottom? We've got low morale. The Yamalato is the Four of Swords. So we've got the Three of Swords and the Four of Swords. I see more heaviness coming from the masculine here as well. It's like they've given up. But here in the Seven of Swords, this wouldn't be someone that's given up, you see. Unless, my dear friends, this is big changes that Jupiter is bringing in. So the ability to break out and break away from any relationships of the past that did not bring happiness, where someone abandoned and said, I can't work on this anymore. It doesn't work anymore. What is the point? And someone following their destiny. Beneath the Amalato is the Fidelta, the dog, the friendship, the admiration, the loyalty, Nine of Cups. It's like someone's given up on being loyal or given up on following a particular path. Yes, the abandonment of morale and the abandonment of loyalty and being there. It's like a detach. It's like I'm giving up. I don't know. I can't do this anymore. Let's take some other cards and see what's going on. But let's see what the message is, first of all. And we've got Mending, number 52. 52 is another 7. Mending. Let's see what that says. 52 is the last card, which tells me at the last moment there could be an ability for someone finding an intelligent way to return, to make amends. Forgiveness, making amends, healing after arguments. The Oracle's message says, each time we are hurt and allow the hurt to pass through us without understanding and integration, we accumulate an unwanted burden. This keeps us chained to the very things we need to heal, the pain, the memories, the echoes of resentments. The chains are right here, and this is the wall that's up and is a heavy burden, right? I was saying, this keeps us chained to the very things we need to heal, the pain, the memories, the echoes of resentments and the arguments that we rehearse over and over. Now is the time for mending rifts, healing wounds, and letting go of the old hurts in order to reclaim your power. Now is the time to forgive, to release, to make peace, and to make amends to others. Set yourself free. Yes, and that's so true. When we carry wounds from the past, there's no room for newness. There's no room for the ability to move forward, because they heavy our heart, they burden our heart, and there's no room for happiness there. Where relationships are concerned, you've come to a place where forgiveness is necessary if you're to move forward. Separate or together, you and the other person are still experiencing the effects of a hurt that is impacting everything you do, even if you're not aware of it. The energy needs to clear. You must, what must you do to bridge this gap? Closing your heart is not the answer. You have the power to heal this wound. Ask yourself, what would love do? Only good will come of forgiveness and an honest redress. Wow. incredible message. Okay, let's take another layer of cards on each position and see what's going on. What is going on here? You see that both parties are very miserable here. And the general energy, of course, is amalat or low morale, a sense of I've given up. You know, and it's the Four of Swords, which obviously someone has gone through a heartbreak. The warrior is exhausted, he's been wounded, he needs time to think, to process, and to move to the next level, which would be the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords would be very similar to the Seven of Swords. Why do we have the Nine of Wands? Why are we going through trials and tribulations? This is passion that has not been released and can become quite explosive. We are moving towards more fire and air. So if there hasn't been communication, this is a heavy burden. There's a lot of wounding, there's a lot of hurt, and there's a lot of necessity to process or even to release. And the release, as Uranus is changing signs and entering Gemini, which is verbal and how we think, Uranus will bring the release. Uranus is the revolution and the change. So the change could be quite abrupt, hopefully, as the energy needs to be released. Let's see, because we see a lot of sexual energy that is not released, a lot of tension here. And obviously there's been an ending, or you're going through an ending. Or this could be the ending of the burden. I don't know if you're dealing with a Scorpio. Let's have a look at the Four of Wands in the challenge. Why is the foundation and the commitment a challenge? Obviously, someone could be in another relationship, another commitment, marriage. There's a lot of worries around a home, around a commitment. Someone's not sleeping well. The Nine of Swords is the burdens and the prigione. But there's the Eight of Cups, and it's not easy for it could be your person, it could be you. It's not easy for you to emotionally get up and check out and move on. And there could also be, if there's no communication, we've got a couple of nines, we've got 8 here. What was I saying? There's no emotional closure here. And if there's been no communication, obviously, there will be a lot of sleepless nights, anxiety and worries about what's really going on. Now, what you may not know that's going on is that someone is checking out from a commitment that was not working for them. Why do I have the Six of Pentacles in the deep past? We've got the Page of Wands. We've got the Ace of Wands. Ace of Pentacles. And we've got the Six of Wands here. We know the Page of Wands is excitement, curiosity, could be a messenger, could be a traveler. But there's naivety. Now, you may be dealing with someone that has got a child that they are working very hard for, because pages can be children. Six of Wands is success, someone that's successful, well known in their community. Leo comes through, obviously. And of course, we see the Six of Pentacles also, someone needing to pay karma, someone working very hard to stabilize, to bring financial stability, but also public recognition. That's what I'm getting here. For me, the Page of Wands is like naivety. Someone's dived into something, to this connection, right? Maybe there was a promise of something long term, but I feel that there needed to be some karma that was paid off, and the payoff may have involved paying money out. So was someone giving more to a child? Because, you know, the Ace of Pentacles could be a marriage, and could be a commitment, could be a marriage, could be a home. And that was who was karmically helped, karmically received in the past. Their ticket to success was a child. This could have been an unforeseen marriage, for all we know. Like someone that felt like they were intelligent, they fell into a trap, let's say, or there was promise or thought of an opportune moment for something long term, but someone chose to give more to career than what to love, to the relationship. I do get some ego here with the Six of Wands as well. Just trying to verbalize what's coming to me here. And of course there's naivety in the page, and the page, usually pages are not people who can who could offer you long term. It's more about the money, it's more about stability. It was more about stability. So possibly if this was not another relationship, then it was someone that was more invested in what they wanted to create. Because remember, this is excitement, this is inspiration, this is creativity. This is the traveler, someone who's on the road for work, someone not ready to settle down, but may have settled down accidentally because it was karmically written in the stars, right? But needing to go through an evolution, and we see in the recent past, because this is the deep past, this is the root, in the recent past, evolving and moving emotionally to another connection, to another potential here. We see Seven of Pentacles and Seven of Pentacles here. So yeah, there is movement here. There's reevaluation. Someone's looking at their emotional life and thinking whether they're going to move on. Maybe they have started moving on and moving towards a new home, a new life, because of the new moon that we had in Cancer. And there is the travel, the change of home, not let's say not investing in a particular, because we've got the Six of Pentacles, we've got the Seven of Pentacles twice, maybe a change of where they've been invested. So and we could be saying that this could be a 7-year period, and we've got a couple of sevens here, 7-8 year period, which could be a quarter cycle of Saturn, where someone's been investing themselves in the other connection. So the past 7 years, let's say, for you and this connection, they've been away, they've been checked out, they've needed time to go through that quarter cycle of Saturn, right? And they've learned their lesson, and now there's a lot of change. Because 9 cups, what made them happy, 9 or 10 cups, let's say, with the 2 cups here, what made them happy was this connection here, which obviously is connected to the past, okay? Because even if we look at the table, the spread, as a horoscope spread, this has got to do with the past, and this has got to do with someone's goals, their aspirations, and their future, which is coming together, meeting up, connecting, and a romantic gesture, or even invitation, let's say. We've got the Two of Swords. So there's a dilemma, and the dilemma could be, I don't know if there's 3 parties, 4 parties here, because if this is the dilemma on your Knight of Cups, this could be your dilemma if you're still dealing with someone that is, that you're still hoping to move on from. It could be your dilemma. Now, it could also be the dilemma of this Knight of Cups, or someone that's looking for their happiness, right? Whether you're in another situation still, because Three of Pentacles is here. And the Three of Pentacles, of course, could involve third parties. Let's take one more, and we've got a Three of Cups. The dilemma is, can we come together again? Can we go to the next level? Because the Three of Cups is, can we reconcile our differences? Will they accept my apology? If there's been sneakiness, there's been a detach, there's been no communication. Or will my cup be accepted, or is there still there are still blockages, let's say. Let's take the outcome. We've got a Knight of Wands. This could be an unexpected entry, someone coming in, someone traveling, being very strategic, coming through as very fiery, very creative, and very sexual. We've got the Two of Cups here. And we've got the Sun. And the Sun does bring clarity. As I was talking about the new moon coming through in Leo, the early degrees of Leo. Someone needing to have the confidence. And this is another card of reconciliation. For some of you, there will be reconciliation. But because we've got a Knight of Wands here, there still is a necessity for strategy and secrecy, because someone may still be involved with a past relationship. So there needs to be quiet, because the Knight of Wands is usually the player, right? So there is play, okay? There is play, but there's also movement and change, let's say, because we know the Knight of Wands holds the Ace of Wands, and they're chasing their desires. This is what I want. This is the light I see. There's always light on the wand, right? This is what I've seen now. I know what I need to do. For those of you that if someone's coming in and they just want that sexual connection again, deep, intimate connection, secrecy, and not offering you the Two of Cups, this is someone that you will turn your back on, because they may be coming in like a fox, very sneaky. They only want to take and they want to go away. Okay, so it will be different for each. There'll be a lot of communication, a lot of truths. Here is Gemini. Uranus is going to enter Gemini. We will have surprises. What will the talks be about? About someone being independent and single, someone knowing what they want, someone standing strong in their convictions. This is what I want. There's nothing else that I want. Nine of Pentacles, very similar to the Empress. This is someone that's financially in a good position, but they're lonely. They're in the Garden of Eden. Lots of communication, lots of clarity, lots of possible arguments as well. So do take care, as a lot of the energies will be they'll be quite cutting, quiet. There'll be a lot of stress. There'll be a lot of stress, anxiety, and a want and a need for clarity, for truth, and for decisions. Okay, but we do have the ability to mend. There is the ability to mend here. Remember what the card says, what the message said very strongly, a necessity for forgiveness. There's the King of Swords again. And we've got the Hierophant, Taurus comes through, Aquarius, we've got the two keys. The keys for me are Chiron and Chiron. Mars is coming up to the South Node in Virgo, my dear friends, so that's our work life, our daily life, and our physical and emotional health, let's say. This could be possible separation and litigation, of course, but this could also be second chances at another commitment, or speaking truthfully about the reality of a connection, a forthcoming or a past connection. Someone breaking out of any conservatism or being pushed to break out, speaking up about what's been going on for them and their family, or a commitment of theirs, having gone through a heavy burden. There's the Empress and there's the Fool. And the Fool and the Empress. So we've got Taurus, we've got Aries, we've got Libra, we've got Aquarius and Taurus. This is like a new cycle has already begun. The Empress attracts, even though there's heaviness, we know that the Empress carries a child, she carries a seed that she's planted, she's patient, she's motherly, she's nurturing, she's carrying a heavy wound, but this comes to an end as there will be a lot of clearing out, a lot of communication. We've got the Knight of Swords and the King of Swords here, and the Page of Swords. A lot of truths will be revealed, and second opportunities to healing an open wound, or to unlocking someone's heart, let's say, someone's truths. Let's see what's going on in the emotional arena. Of course, this reading is longer than the individual love readings on Patreon. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting. It helps the channel greatly. Thanks for connecting with us, and thank you for all that you do. Let's see what's going on emotionally. There are fears coming from the divine masculine, but we've got divine timing, and this is the wheel of fate. Changes coming in. We've got pride and ego. I think that the pride and ego will, there is some pride, but I feel that there will be humbling relative to pride and ego, because this is Jupiter, and Jupiter brings a spiritual connection, luck, change, but also some truths. Gives us, the divine timing and seeing the bigger picture. This can also speak to possible separation and divorce, legal divorce. Therefore, someone is humbled. It may be costing them financially. Just the three cards give a lot of positivity that there is change. I mean, this could be a spiritual connection as well, and it's happening in divine timing, whereas in the past there were fears coming from the divine masculine. There's refocus, so there's reevaluation, revisiting. The retrogrades are ahead. Mid-month of July, we've got retrograde Mercury. So there's a refocus and lots of changes. Let's take a couple more. We've got a return, which is what I was saying. Not everyone will keep people that are returning. It depends on how they're going to return and who they've evolved into, right? Those relationships will return and will have the possibility on this retrograde, on this cycle, in this forthcoming future, let's say, to find each other, to come back together, to reconcile. Others will not. But every cycle that is challenging and you're returning to, remember that there is an ascension process going on in the background. Okay? So if you've had back and forth, blocking, unblocking, talking, not talking, 3 months space of losing them, a year, 2 years, those cycles, you either have evolved and grown, you and your person, or if you haven't, you will keep repeating the same cycles. Of course, not every cycle will be exactly the same, so there are different lessons on each cycle, but there's an evolution and there's an ascension. Whether the ascension is together, the relationship, or single, that's a different story. You would need a different, a personal reading. There is solitude coming from the divine feminine. She is waiting on a return of her divine masculine. But that will bring freedom, of course. That will bring understanding, and someone needs to know that they are free to act. There's free will always. And this to me is Aquarius. It promises the future, and it promises breakthroughs and freedom if there have been other connections. Yep, there has been connection, and there's been connection with a karmic partner for sure. There's the forgiveness. There's the metamorphosis. There's the abandonment. Unbelievable, and goosebumps. Surely, testing times. When we go through testing times such as these, it's saying one thing, my dear friends. And you know what it's saying? It is saying that this is a very, very important relationship. Destiny is playing out. The hand of destiny is bringing communication, is bringing breakthroughs, is bringing returns, reconciliations, but also revisit, to reevaluate. Some relationships can mend and some will finish. Okay? Yeah. Let's pick at the brain of your person. Let's get into their head, into their mind, and into their emotions. How do they feel about your connection? What are they thinking? What have they spoken to you about? What have they shared, or what haven't they shared with you? They may be sharing in the here and now or in the tomorrow. Your beauty still moves me. Our connection still affects me. We've got still twice, so this is a long-standing relationship. I can't handle your words right now. Please don't take what happened personally. It's not you, it's me. I want to be authentic. I'm no longer afraid. And authentic is Uranus. Uranus is coming into Gemini, ingressing into Gemini, and will be very authentic. And the tower moments are going to start relative to, I can't hold back. I need to be truthful. This is who I am. This is what I think. This is what I feel. And acceptance and moving on. I've looked you up online to see what you've been up to. No other compares to you. And I can't ignore the signs I'm receiving any longer. And what's at the bottom? My mind and heart always comes back to you. So there are the cycles, you see, my friends. Now, I will give you the opportunity. Yes, please. Comment yes, please beneath. And I will take a card from this deck for you. I will personally type out the message for you, because I have not done a spreadsheet where I could copy paste. I will go into that effort. I know there isn't many of you out there anymore, so I will go into that effort. Doesn't matter how long it takes me, I'll get back to you. Okay, so comment yes please. I am finishing up the individual love readings on Patreon, so give me a few days. I will get back to you. And I'm also thinking maybe to do mid-month love readings. I'm thinking to make changes, dear friends, because the way we're doing the channel right now, it doesn't really work, and my time is just I'm wasting my time, really. So I'm thinking to make some changes. I'm still thinking maybe Uranus in Gemini will give me the ingenious thought of how to go about things. But yes, I will do this. I promise this. Do comment, do like, do share, do subscribe, do join us on Patreon. And I'll be back, of course, on Patreon. We've got a full moon in Capricorn that is ahead of us. I'll be doing that in the next 2-3 days. So thank you for considering joining us on Patreon. Thank you for your guidance, dear Spirit. We'll leave it there. Love and light to all of you. Love you all so much. Let me know what you think. Do connect with us. It does help the channel. Much love, and I hope you're coping with the heat, everyone, as the heat is rising. It is rising. Much love to all of you, and talk to you very soon. Packing away my cards, I thought you might want to see little Rocky again. So here is little Rocky, and he's growing very fast. You could see the size of his tummy. He's being fed well, that's for sure. He's the one that we were feeding, giving honey to, so that his appetite could jumpstart, and now we can't stop him from eating. He will go and he will scrape up all the dishes, whatever Gaia or Agape leave behind, he'll go and scrape it up. He's such a beautiful, playful little boy. He's so cute. Now our kiddies have accepted him. They have accepted him, and he's part of the family now, even though Gaia was a little bit jealous. But yeah, he just wants to play so much, and he's gorgeous. He's gorgeous. So, say hello to everyone. Say, look how big my tummy is now. I'm getting big. I'm growing so fast. And I love being part of the family. Oops, no. Okay, so goodbye everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. See you next time.